Sometimes all it takes is a simple fold to make a floral card feel a little more special. Welcome back to another Take Two with Therese at Altenew, and we're going to be using the Painterly Perfection Craft Your Life kit and using all of the elements from the kit to make 2 easy, fun fold cards. This kit includes stamps, dies, a 3D embossing folder, and a beautiful layering scene set. But first, we're going to be making our fun fold basics. I've got an A2 size rectangle die, and I decided to step my fun fold up a little bit. The first one here is a trifold card, and I thought it'd be fun to add a window in the very front panel so that we can look through the window and see the middle fold. And you'll see what I mean when we start assembling a bit later on. So I found it easier to die cut my window and the panel at the same time. And because I'm going to be doing some 3D embossing, I made sure to do my die cutting first, because if I ran this through the die cutting machine after I embossed, I'm going to lose some of that glorious texture. I really like embossing folders that add a subtle difference to the cardstock because they can literally be used on any design. Alright, so to make the card itself, the card base, we are going to be needing 2 A2 side fold cards. Now, like I said, I wanted one of these to be a window, and I could have die cut the circle in the actual front of the card, but I wanted to use 2 layers of cardstock just to give it a little bit of extra strength, but also to add a real subtle layer, or should I say frame, behind my textured panel. So this is a fairly heavyweight cardstock, this one. I think it's either 80 or 90 pound, but it's not as heavyweight as the card bases that I typically use. And because we're layering up lots of cardstock here to create the trifold card, I like to use a slightly lighter weight cardstock so that the moving pieces work too well and it's not too heavy. Alright, so we've got the basics for the first trifold card. Now the second fun fold we're going to be making today is a Z-fold, and it's another A2 card base. So once you've done your normal score for the A2 card base, just flip your cardstock over and add a second score line in the middle of the front panel. And then simply use a bone folder or your thumbnail or whatever you use to burnish your score lines to fold it back on itself. So that very front panel gets folded back, causing it to look like a Z or a Z-fold card. So there's all the basics. That's our basic cards that we're going to be making today. But you did get a sneak peek. We do need to decorate them. And we're going to be doing some floral bouquets as well as some beautiful stenciled backgrounds. Now when you are stamping multiple layers to create one image, it's much easier to do 2 at a time, and this large stamp wheel allows me to fit 2 full A2 panels inside, and I can just leave this aligned and literally stamp out the image twice really quickly and easily by just flipping my top plate over. I only really need to align the layering stamps once, and I could actually do this multiple times. I could come in and add more cardstock panels, like pull these ones out and keep building on this if I wanted to, because I've tucked the cardstock into the corner of the stamp wheel. But I only needed 2 flowers today, or 2 bouquets. The great thing about making simple fun fold cards or card bases is that you can literally decorate them with whatever you have, as much as you want or as little as you want. It just adds something really special to a floral design in particular, I think, because flowers can be used for so many occasions. So having a floral card, if you make some floral cards ready to go, one good trick is to actually not add a sentiment at the time when you make them. And then when you do need a card, you can just add the sentiment for the occasion at the time. All right, I've got a little tip here to align the flower, because I do want to die cut these out. I created a template with a scrap piece of white cardstock, and that way I could hold it in place, align the stamp, pick up the stamp just with the lid of the stamp wheel, and then I know that's going to be in the right place when I do come along a bit later on and die cut this bouquet out. Because these flowers, you might notice, don't sit exactly in the bouquet itself. There is like a little white shadow area around them, and that's done purposefully because in the stamp set there's also, in the die set I should say, there's also the option of die cutting these flowers out individually. So it's a great option because then you could add more dimension, stamp out a bunch of extra flowers and build on this simple bouquet even more. And I actually used the same template again to die cut the image itself, and it's only a lightweight cardstock. I'm using 80-pound Nina here, and I know that these 2 layers of cardstock are going to fit through my die cutting machine really easily without putting any strain on it. But do be aware, if you are using thicker cardstock or if you've got a different machine, if you feel like it's got too much pressure, then I wouldn't force it. And because it is a lightweight cardstock and I am going to be popping up these images, I do always die cut an extra image and then just adhere it together just with some scrap cardstock and use some liquid glue to adhere it together. All right, I did say we're going to be adding a stencil background image as well, and this is a beautiful layering stencil from the set, and I know it looks a little bit intimidating. Honestly, I thought it was going to be not difficult to, it's not the right words, it's not a difficult stencil to use, but I thought it was going to be very intricate, because if you look at the image, it's a very intricate image of trees and silhouettes of mountains and then the moon or the sun and then the shadows in the water, but it's designed so easily to use, so easy to use, because I've just got this sitting on my grid mat here. I've got an alignment guide that I'm tucking the image up to. You could also do this inside like the stamp positioning tool as well, on one of those sticky grid mats in a stamp wheel. And each layer of the stencil is literally just one color. So I think that's what makes it so very easy, because I didn't have to think about whether a certain section had to be a certain color. Once I aligned the stencil, I just came in with one color and covered the whole area of that stencil that was exposed with that color. So it came together really quickly, and I was really surprised that there weren't more intricate pieces. There obviously are some that aren't fully attached to the plastic, but not very many considering how detailed this scene is. Now I will list all the colors that I use. Like, you can obviously see a lot of them off to the side here anyway, but I did 2 slightly different backgrounds, and one of them I did quite a bit lighter. I just used the first section of the greens rather than the darker ones, and then I did come in with light yellow for the reflection. So you can play with this as much as you want. I really want to make this into a rainbow, I don't know, sunset? Sunrise. Anyway, I am going to do that. It's on my agenda, especially now I know how easy it is to use. And to be honest, this stencil, you can get away without using all the layers as well. If you want to use just the sort of tree scene, or just use the not add the last couple of layers here, I thought it looked quite nice without the final layers. You don't get the moon or the reflection in the water, but it would be another way to stretch that set of stencils. Now this is one of the one go sentiment sets, so literally, I don't know, there's about 10 sentiments in one pass of the better press, and there's also a coordinating die, so that means I just have to run it through the die cutting machine once and I've got a ton of sentiments. I did make sure not to put the tape onto the ink though, because there's the potential to rip the cardstock, but also to lift the ink when I remove the tape later on. And I did toy with the idea of doing some hot foiling with this set, but thought that the black bold sentiment would look lovely. So it's time to assemble the trifold, and I've got my 2 card bases. They're the A2 size here, and I'm adding the panel directly to what feels like the back of the card. Now, one thing to note is that when you slip the cardstock together, if you fold the front over, what happens if you leave it full size is that you'll have this area kind of peeking out on the right hand side of the card front. So I always like to snip a little bit off with my paper trimmer, but I measure it first before I do that, because sometimes I might miscalculate a fold, so it's better just to measure and then make a tick mark and trim that extra bit away before you adhere the panels together, just to make sure that there's no overhang on the right hand side of the trifold card. And you can glue this however you like. I'm just using some glue tape here because this is basically repositionable. So I know it's going to have a really good hold once it's sort of settled into the cardstock, but it means that if I don't align it quite perfectly the first time, I can separate the pieces of cardstock here and realign it without too much drama usually. And to add the front panel, I did use some liquid glue because I knew that this was the correct size and I had it on hand. I'm using liquid glue a little bit more now, but I do love the ability to use the glue tape without it, grabbing too quickly. And of course I add some dimension to the sentiment as well as the bouquet. And I love having that sentiment added to the inside panel here. It just adds a little bit of something special to the design. The leftover pieces of the flower here, I didn't really want to waste them, and I thought about putting them on the right hand side of the card, but it just the balance wasn't right, so I just played with it a little bit and I thought it looked lovely, like building that floral bouquet even more on the left hand side. I thought it just gave it a little bit more depth. And where to write the sentiment? I added another rectangle die cut with a simple sentiment stamped from the same set. And I added that on the inside of the trifold. It's plenty of room to write a sentiment on these cards. And it's hidden. Now we're back to the Z-Fold card, and it's very similar in some ways. I've got this is the stencil that I did with slightly lighter colours, and I had the yellow reflection over the water. And I could have done a textured panel here to add to that very front portion of the Z-Fold, but I kept it a little bit more clean and simple, although I did pop up the floral bouquet yet again. And to write a sentiment on this card, I would either write it directly onto the stencil potentially, because it's the stenciled picture, because it's a very light colour, or I could write it behind that Z panel, or even on the back of the card. I could add a white panel to write my sentiment on there. And all together now, I've got the Floral Circle Window Trifold Card, where I've added the sentiment like to the inside of the panel and popped up in the middle of the circle. And then the Z-Fold card, where I've added the sentiment and the floral bouquet to the very front of the Z-Fold and the stencil scene on the back panel. Now let me know if you have a favourite today or if you're going to try either of these techniques. I look forward to seeing you back here again real soon. Till then, bye.
Wait, we have more where that came from. If you're after fabulous card making tutorials, you are definitely in the right spot. Our amazing design team create and upload fabulous video tutorials right to this YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss another amazing crafting tutorial, don't forget to subscribe and click that fun red button that you can see. Let's become paper crafting experts together.